Okay, so we have a very simple problem. It says 3.5x equals 8. Then x must be which one of the following. Now, there are several ways to do this. We'll do it the easiest way first, and then I'll show you a graphing method. Because there is an equals here, that means this side and a variable, we can actually graph and find the intersection between the two, and where that intersection is, where the x is, that is the answer. And we'll get to that in a few moments. But right now, the easiest part of this is just to actually do the calculations. So let's go to File, New Document. We don't want to save our last one. Let's just go to Calculator very quickly. And okay, so now what we've got is 3.5x. We could really just divide 8 by 3.5. Okay? So let's go ahead and say 8 divided by 3.5. Now, 3.5 is kind of tricky for some people. I mean, fractions are always. But what it truly means is 3 plus 1/2. So, if you had an issue with fractions, and there's some down here, like a half, everybody knows it's 0.5, but hey, 2/7, we don't have a clue what that is, as a decimal. All we have to do is say 2 plus 2 divided by 7, and that'll actually give us the number value. So what we're going to do is we're going to say 8 divided by, and I'm going to put a parenthesis here, and I want to show you why. I'm going to show you what I was talking about up here. 3 plus, in parentheses, 1 divided by 2. Now that 1 divided by 2 is a half. That's all you have to do. That's what I was meaning by 3 and a half. And we can close the parentheses once, twice, hit enter. We get, in this case, 16/7. Notice that this is 8 divided by that. We could go and say 8 divided by 3.5, enter. We get a decimal value, which if we take 16 and divide it by 7, and if you're having issues with this like fraction stuff here, what you can actually do is you can actually go back in and change how this looks, okay? And so let's go ahead and do that. If you don't like the fractions, here's how you do it. We can go to Menu, or I'm sorry, to Document, because we are in a document. We can go to, let's see, I think it is Settings, Document Settings, and instead of using Calculator Mode Auto, which means it will put in fraction or it could put in decimal, let's just use approximate. Click OK, and now let's go ahead and say 16 divided by 7, enter, and notice that we get the exact same thing here. And so we're looking for the number value up here that actually gives us 2.285, okay? So we can take 9 divided by 2, enter. 4.5, that's not the answer. 2 divided by 9, 0.222, that's not the answer. Okay, so how did I say to do this? We take 2 plus, in parentheses, 2 divided by 7, close parentheses. Again, we're looking for 2.28, hit enter, and it's 2.28. So our answer is 2 in this. I want you to look at a couple of these. 2 goes into this, it's going to be 4.5. Here, this is going to be a decimal value. This is going to be a decimal value. This is 11. This is actually instantly out. We're looking for the number that gave us 2. Think about it. Makes sense, right? I did say that I would show you how to do this graphing. So let's go to Document, File, New. We don't want this. We're going to do a graph. We can always graph this. So again, I'm going to put parentheses around this. 3 plus, in parentheses, 1 divided by 2, close parentheses, twice x. And the reason I did this is so that this whole quantity here, and you can convert this to a decimal if you want to put 3.5 times x, that's fine. And then we're going to graph it. Of course, this is a linear equation. So we hit enter. And what we want to do is find word 8, and this is going to be a vertical or a horizontal line through 8, which we can't see, so we may have to change our graph just a little bit. But we can do that in a minute. We're just going to go back to menu, graph a function. We're just going to type 8 in. We're going to graph it. Again, like I said, if you don't see it, and one of the examples before, we need to go ahead and do a zoom. And that's what we're going to do now. If you forgot where the zoom is on the thing, you go to menu. Again, menu is a big place. Let's go to number 4, and let's just do a zoom fit. And notice that it crosses right here. We could use, again, menu, trace, okay, graph trace, and then use our arrow to the right until we get close to the point of intersection. Looks like 2.4 here, so it looks close. I'll look up here to find the one that looks like 2. Nope, nope, nope. That's 4. Oh, there it is. It's the only one it could be. Again, that's not perfect, but that's the quick way to do it. You can find the intersection. There is a tool to do that. Let me get off that. Okay, and the tool to find that is menu, analyze graph, intersection. What's actually happening is that we are hitting here, and it's basically going to say, hey, it's going to be my lower bound, it's going to be upper bound. Right here's the point, and it's very close to, can't see it, 2.29. That's your answer. So again, X is the value that you were looking for, not the Y, only the X, and it's a little more than 2. Again, the only answer to that is that. Again, if you wanted to just quickly check your work, you could do that, but it's very simple to do. So, again, for me personally, I would just take 8 divided by 3.5, and I would have found one of these. It'll be a numerical value that matches. It's a lot easier, but if you really want to look at the graph and try to just quickly estimate it, you can use a trace. And notice it was, again, the key word is that it's where they both cross, and it will always be the X value.